All right. Hi, everybody. I think we are live here now. We actually just finished doing an interview for our new podcast series that's coming up called Science, Mysticism, and Beyond, the Humanity's Next Phase of Evolution. So we actually just finished interviewing Lori Ladd, who's been a real inspiration to us, and it was stellar. It is going to be amazing. This whole series is going to be so good. And so we wanted to hop on and just kind of mention a couple different things and something that got triggered that we were talking about earlier that then got triggered again by talking with Lori Ladd that we think is a really important message to share at this point. Now, before I get into the message, I want to just make a couple of quick announcements. So 3 big things going on December 21st. Number 1, we have a synchronized global meditation on the 21st. December 21st is the beginning of winter solstice, and it's also a really big astrological time. It's a major light point. There's a lot of light coming in, and we want to hop on and do collective intent with global communities. So what we are doing is we are going to be doing one with Lance Shuttler and Michael Jaco, and we're going to combine some of the letters that move the world meditation with that. And then we will take that and we will all send that feeling out to the rest of the world. So join us at that. That'll be at 10:15 on December 21st. Now, the other message is that Letters That Move the World, Intentional Acts of Gratitude, the movement that we are doing, the letters get launched between December 21st and January 7th. And so at that point is when everybody's going to be sending the letters out at the same time. So that's going to be our focus moment for positive change. And the third thing, I'm doing this as my little 3-year-old is running behind me, grabbing stuff from the kitchen. So that's really how Facebook Live works. It really is live. So, okay. And then the last thing that I want to mention that was again, that also on December 21st, the release of our new series starts. So that's the series called Science, Mysticism, and Beyond, Humanity's Next Phase of Evolution. That is going to go out on the December 21st. So we are going to have, I think, probably about 15 amazing guests. We're going to release the poster. We're still waiting for a few more guests to come back in, but we've already got, I think, 11 or 12 lined up. And we are going to be sending out an incredibly powerful message every week to take you through the end of the year and right into the first couple of months of 21.
So we will mention too that please make sure you hop on over to YouTube and get on Dr. Jason Loken's channel and subscribe so that you'll be notified as soon as the videos are released.
Yeah, the best places to get information as soon as they're coming out is go to my YouTube channel at Dr. Jason Loken ND, and you can subscribe there. We'll have all the videos up as we're going through them. And also go to inspirehealthpodcast.com and subscribe there, and then you will also get the emails through the Inspire Health podcast for all of the upcoming episodes. But it's going to be amazing, and I think so needed at this time. So we were talking just the other day, and this concept of choice came up and the importance of it. I'm going to let Taya start off here because this was reiterated again when we were talking to Lori Ladd, and it's so important right now.
Yeah, Jason and I were just talking yesterday about this particular time is really amplifying a lot of underlying habits and patterns that all of us have played out for lifetimes. And really this period of quarantine that we're currently in can even be seen as a blessing in a sense that we're slowing down a bit. We no longer have all these distractions or entertainments or shopping malls available for us to go and take us away, pull us away from this deep inner work that that can be now our focus at this time. So having said that, what we noticed is that oftentimes we go through our day and go through our life using words like, and language is really important because it sets up our pattern for how we conduct ourselves within our everyday. And we use words like I have to, or I need to, or I should, I must, whenever we're describing things that we're doing on a daily basis. And I thought, well, how powerful would it be if we became really aware of our language that we use throughout today. Maybe you can start to implement this within your day today, especially focus on today, and hopefully it'll become a pattern from here on end. But instead of using have to, need to, should, must, can we switch those words or phrases and instead use the word choose? So instead of saying, I have to go pick up my kids after school, I choose to go pick up my children after school at this time. So I need to be finishing. I did it again.
Yeah,
and it's something that we
so
work
easy.
on too. So please be aware that what we suggest to you is stuff that we are consciously working on a daily basis as well. So just catch yourself and come back to I choose. I choose.
Well, and you got to remember that our choices create our reality. It really is that simple. And I know that sometimes it feels like we don't have a choice, but the reality is you always have three options for every situation. You can either choose to leave the situation, you can choose to try and change, you can choose to change the situation, or you can choose to change the way you react to the situation. Those are always within your power. Now, you can decide which is most appropriate at any given time, but the idea is that come back to the choice. We need to take total responsibility for our lives and the role that we are playing in our lives. And if we constantly are putting that power outside of us, we're not really living our lives to the fullest. And ultimately, we need to take ownership so that we can create the life that we want to live. And using the words choose and knowing that the choice is within us always, and within those three areas, that's where we can make the choice to decide what makes most sense right at this point in time. So I think that kind of wraps up the main thing we wanted to talk about with choice. Now, the other thing that I think is really important with this is maybe take today and be really careful of the wording around choice. And the other thing that I would suggest would be really cognizant of how the different choices make you feel. Do you feel good with your choices? Do they feel expansive? Do you feel open? Do you feel more interconnected with people? Or do they feel more contractile? Do they feel like they close off? Do they make your life smaller? Do you not like the feeling that goes on? Because if we are constantly making choices around things that we do not feel good or resonate with, it's going to lead our life in a direction that feels more and more of those same things. And if we recognize that we don't like the way we're feeling with our choices, then how can we start to make different choices? Again, with either leave the situation, change the situation, or change the way we react to the situation. Those are always within our ability to make choices.
So even working with statements throughout the day, and play with it on your own, but you can even say this phrase to yourself and see how it feels. I choose to stay with my partner. I choose to stay with my partner. I choose to go to work. I choose to stay within the line of work that I'm currently in. I choose to stay with my work because I choose the income that I'm receiving from this work as priority to living a life that is more focused on what I want to do. But ultimately, keep alternating those words of I have to, I must, for I choose, I choose. And we invite you to actually write down in the comments below what phrases or words typically come up for you that leave you within that victim sort of realm. And instead, so write those words down in the comments below, such as I have to, I must, I'm told to, it's the law, and I must abide. So write those down, and then at the end of that sentence or the bunch of words that you have written down, finish it with capital I choose. And it's ultimately, it comes to a place where we are left with knowing that we ultimately choose the outcome of our own life. And when we accept the power of our own choice and our own choosing, we're essentially stepping into a place where we know we're captains of our own ship, and we will act accordingly from there on end.
Mm-hmm. And none of it's about getting upset with yourself or judging yourself or feeling guilty for any of that stuff. All it is awareness. Everything right now is just awareness. There's so much stuff that is coming up to the surface right now that is there for us to just take a closer look at and decide what fits and what doesn't fit. If you keep it really simple and get away from all of the other, attachments we've got to things and the storylines that come up around stuff, and just, does it fit or does it not fit? Is it working for me? Is it not working for me? And that's okay. Doesn't mean you even have to change it, but the awareness around it is what's the important part. All right, everybody, take care and let us know how that exercise goes, and we will talk to you soon. Okay, make sure you subscribe to the podcast because you do not want to miss the episode that is going to be coming up. This whole series is going to be so
Pretty
amazing.
phenomenal.
Yeah, take care.